Welcome back to the channel, everyone. As you all know, I review watches from AliExpress because I like value. I like to get a lot for my dosh, and that's what we get on AliExpress. Now, today is the 29th of July 2025, and in the last 30 days, I've actually reviewed comprehensively 15 different watches. And what I want to do today is talk about my 7 favorite watches. Now, the links to the listings will be in the description below the video. Also, I've left a link to my collection in one spot on AliExpress. So once you click on that, you will go to a place where you can see my picks for this video. There are more discount codes in the description below the video. So do check them out and do use them because, yeah, discounts just keep on coming. And now let's dive in and talk about these 7 watches in detail. Let's do it. When vintage motorsport DNA meets modern budget brilliance, you get addiesdive AD2095. This isn't just a homage to racing chronographs of the past. It's a lightweight, 65-gram daily beater with the style chops to make a statement. The 38mm case is cut from 316L stainless steel and finished in a mix of brushed and polished surfaces. Inside beats the reliable Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz movement, offering that mechanical snapback chrono hand without the maintenance of a full mechanical. On the front, you get a domed K 1 mineral bubble crystal treated with anti-glare blue film for clarity in direct sunlight. That raised profile gives it retro wrist presence, while the beige and aquadial variant adds a playful punch of summer flair. The chronograph subdials are recessed and colored for contrast, making timing functions pop. Rated to 100 meters, you've got a 20mm lug width for easy strap changes, though the included nylon strap is breathable, light, and fits snugly without bulk. At $65, this is a vintage-inspired chrono that gets the proportions, movement, and charm right. Martin SN004 is one of those watches that instantly feels steeped in vintage charm. It has that retro aura, but with just enough modern refinement to make it versatile. You can actually choose between 2 hand styles, classic or pencil hands. And while the classic set stays true to the heritage vibe, I personally think the pencil hands work better. They simplify the dial just enough, toning down the ornamentation and giving it a slightly more contemporary feel while still keeping the vintage flair intact. The color palette here really enhances the warmth of the design. The matte black dial contrasts beautifully against the polished high-gloss ceramic bezel insert, and the beige tones of the lume plots and hands just pop off that backdrop, giving the watch a soft, warm, almost nostalgic presence. Size-wise, it's extremely wearable. The lug-to-lug length is a modest 46mm, which means it can comfortably fit wrist as small as 5 inches. The case diameter is just 38mm, and while the height measures 13mm on paper, most of that comes from the slightly domed, boxed sapphire crystal. It doesn't actually feel tall or top-heavy on the wrist. Instead, it sits low and slim, hugging the wrist naturally. The lug width is 20mm, but the bracelet tapers nicely down to 16 at the clasp, which really helps with balance and comfort. When you look at the case profile, you can see it's very much a layered design. Now let's talk about the bezel, because SM has a solid reputation for making excellent ones, and this is no exception. The moment you rotate it, you can feel and hear the quality. The clicks are precise, very tactile, with a satisfying ratchety feel. The resistance is consistent all the way around the 120 click cycle, and it's on the heavier side. That's actually a good thing, because with the slight overhang of the bezel above the case flank, you don't want it to be too light and easy to knock out of place. The Welli Murk WM203 is a well-balanced diver-style watch that offers quite a bit of premium spec for its price bracket. At the heart of this watch sits the reliable Seiko NH35 automatic movement, a 24-jewel workhorse widely known for its durability, hacking, and roughly 41-hour power reserve. This instantly gives the WM some mechanical credibility in the entry-level automatic market. Now, in terms of design and wearability, this is a 41mm case built from 316L stainless steel, making it suitable for a wide variety of wrist sizes. The watch measures 12.2mm thick, including both case back and crystal, giving it a fairly slim profile for a diver. The lug width is 20mm, tapering slightly for comfort, and the weight comes in around 144 grams, delivering a nice balance between presence and daily comfort. Visually, the dial is really the star here. Available in 3 color options, sky blue, black and green, Welli Murk offers something for nearly every taste. The version shown features a striking sky blue dial paired with a vibrant ceramic bezel insert. The bezel itself is unidirectional and well executed, with clear markings and a solid, refined look. Covering the dial is a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, giving you solid scratch protection with excellent clarity. The markers are simple applied batons, well proportioned, filled with blue and green lume, and paired with a framed date window at 3 o'clock. The hands follow a similarly simple formula, sword-style hour and minute hands, with a bright orange seconds hand providing contrast. Around the wrist, you've got a solid stainless steel bracelet adding to the premium appearance, and it integrates nicely into the case thanks to the compact lug design. And importantly, this piece is 200 meters water resistant. This watch is unapologetically classic. It's clearly paying tribute to one of the most iconic dive watch designs ever made. San Martin has given it its own personality with subtle but meaningful changes, making it feel more contemporary and wearable while still exuding unmistakable charm. Now, there are several dial and bezel options in the series, but what we're looking at here is the blue gradient variant paired with the classic style hands. What's interesting is that despite its bold look, the proportions keep it very wearable. The case diameter is a sweet spot 39mm with a thickness of 13.1mm. Looking at the profile, you get a real sense of refinement. The tall mid case is horizontally brushed, crisp and even. But what makes it stand out is the thin 45-degree Polish bevel running along the flank. It's subtle at first glance, but it catches the light just enough to add a sense of depth and luxury. The watch hugs the wrist naturally, without any awkward overhang. The brushing on the bracelet itself is assertive yet refined. It starts wide at 20mm, where it meets the case, and tapers down to a svelte 16mm at the clasp. The bracelet is secured with screw pins. Even the polished outer faces of the links complement those polished bevels we saw on the case earlier. What's really impressive are the bracelet tolerances. It's solid and rigid where it matters, yet the articulation of each link remains silky smooth. No rattle, no play, just a premium feel. The bezel itself has a smooth yet precise feel. The resistance leans slightly toward the lighter side. Not overly stiff, but still controlled enough that you won't accidentally knock it out of place. That's partly because it doesn't overhang the case flanks, which keeps it nicely protected. If you're after a true vintage diver experience on a budget, the Watchdives WD7922 delivers in spades. This 37mm quartz diver is a faithful homage to the iconic BB54, capturing that retro magic with refined specs and everyday usability. At its core is the Seiko VH 31 Mecha Quartz movement, combining quartz accuracy with a smooth 4 tick per second sweeping seconds hand. It's a small touch, but one that adds life to the dial and elevates the feel beyond your typical quartz beater. The dial layout is clean and legible, featuring faux gilt indices that glow with vintage warmth. The matte black dial contrasts beautifully against the gilt tone accents, while the red triangle pip at 12 o'clock adds a touch of drama to the otherwise stealthy bezel. Cased in fully brushed 316L stainless steel, it wears compact with a strong tool watch presence. The boxed sapphire crystal rises proudly above the bezel, offering distortion and depth, while the AR coating keeps legibility crisp. in direct light. Water resistance is rated at 200 meters, backed by a screw-down crown and case back, meaning this isn't just for show, it's a proper, dive-capable watch. Finishing things off is a solid 316L bracelet with a 4-hole milled clasp. It tapers nicely, feels premium, and complements the overall tool aesthetic without trying too hard. For around $100, the WD7922 is a near-perfect daily diver for small to medium wrists. The Militado D12 version 2. So D12 is obviously referring to the Dirty Dozen. Now this watch has a lot of things going for it. We've got a boxed, domed, synthetic sapphire crystal. We've got a screw and crown, we've got a screw down case back, we've got a stainless steel case, sandblasted, leather strap. A 36mm case diameter keeps it traditional, while the total height measures 12mm, but it actually wears slimmer than that. Much of the thickness comes from the boxed and domed sapphire crystal, adding a vintage charm without feeling bulky. The lug-to-lug span is just 42.5mm, making it supremely wearable even on smaller wrists. On the right-hand side, an unsigned screw and crown sits neatly, just 5mm across, but taller than average for better grip. Now let's talk about the strap, because it plays a big role in the watch's character. It's a genuine calf leather strap, finished in a rich dark chocolate brown. You can feel the quality immediately. It's supple, yet substantial, with a clean matte texture that complements the utilitarian case. Beneath the slightly boxy domed sapphire crystal, you're met with a sunburst brown dial that shimmers like liquid caramel under light. It's not a flat brown. It has depth, movement, a richness that shifts from dark chocolate to warm bronze as the angle changes. Even the small second sub-dial at 6 o'clock has the same sunburst finish, subtly recessed to give a layered look. If you're after a classically styled mechanical watch that won't punish your wallet, the Longlux 8020 might be your new daily driver. For $18, it's a bargain. Yet its case is made of zinc alloy, only the exhibition back is stainless steel. It brings a surprising amount of elegance for the price, with a design language that draws from vintage dress watches and injects a bit of modern refinement. Right away the dial catches your eye, especially in the navy, blue and black variants. It features applied Roman numerals at the cardinal points, raised metallic indices in between. The Dauphine hands add to the refined aesthetic. And there's a date window cleanly tucked at 3 o'clock. It's powered by a Chinese automatic movement, visible through a screw-down exhibition case back. Sure, this isn't haute horology, but at this price point, seeing those gears in motion adds a bit of charm. The crystal is domed mineral glass, which adds distortion and character to the dial while bumping up the case thickness to 14.5mm. Lug to lug, it stretches to 51mm, and the case diameter lands at 42.5mm, so it wears slightly large on smaller wrists. A black or brown faux leather strap adds a vintage touch, and the push-pull crown keeps the silhouette sleek. So what did you think about these 7? Did you find any favorites for yourself? Do let me know in the comments below. And yeah, please remember that we have the links to the individual watches in the description below the video, or just go to the one location to my collection, where all the watches that we discussed today will be in one place. And don't forget to use those discount codes also below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.